What's up guys, in today's video I'm gonna design a t-shirt uniform for my brand for the new short series on how to start a clothing brand. In this video I'm gonna show you the whole creative process and idea gathering / brainstorming before the actual printing and creation in Photoshop and even after. This process you can apply it to create your logo and the main idea of your brand, so it can be like the first stage of starting a clothing brand. The production and printing of this garment will be in another video that will drop soon, so you can just subscribe and just wait a couple of weeks for it. Let's jump straight away into my idea behind this design. Welcome to my studio. Everything started when a couple of weeks ago I found this book here. For the people who don't know what it is, it's the Incomplete High Snobby Guide to Street Fashion and Culture. It can be considered a streetwear bible in a way. It has everything you need for a streetwear brand started from the culture. There are collected all the best street fashion ideas containing work from Virgil Abloh, Alpha Industries, Supreme, Bape, and even others. In fact, to inspire me create the graphic that we're going to do, I used this book since I needed some ideas and inspiration, and this book is just perfect. I got many ideas out of it, but the thing that struck me the most was an original t-shirt graphic that was at the same time complex and fitted the culture in the same way, so it was perfect for what I was doing. The most important factor though in the creation of a design is inspiration. Without the inspiration you could not have the values, and as seen before with the book, I wouldn't be able to create this design. Inspiration comes from cultures, things you see every day, and resources that come from research. Oh, and I almost forgot, the thing that most people do to get inspiration is to just copy other designers' work, and that's really bad. Most people directly use what other people did as inspiration, but that's really bad for a designer because the inspiration they get from other people is the result of all the other thinking and research processes seen before. I wanted to add this since it's super related with the graphic that I'm creating, and it's a really big important step that you need to keep in mind while creating a brand. In fact, I mixed the two types of inspiration to create a new original design, which is the one that we are creating today. So I started creating some sketches for my design. Moreover, I'm gonna add, with the spice of my creativity, my ideas and my research into it, creating a unique and never seen design. So I'm just blending all these things together to create an original design. Basically, I'm gonna create my own version with my ideas and with my culture and context behind it. These were my initial sketches. This first was my initial draft with some ideas. This one here instead was a simple just sketch around. And this one was my final go-to idea. As you can see, if we place them near each other, they look pretty similar. That's because I didn't add all the elements that resemble the studio and all like the research and the inspiration got from the culture. In this sketch, I added only a text which replaced the one of the inspiration. The things that I considered while designing were the concept of the uniform, which I needed anyway, the style of the text with position, the text meaning and signature that I decided to use mine. But as said before, the thing that I changed the most was the concept that went after the initial sketch, that we can draw it as a globe in this drawing. Talking about the text meaning, I underlined the fact that I'm based out of the heart of Venice, which can be linked to culture and can help me distinguish my studio from other studios based out in other countries or in other cities. Of course, nothing against it, it's just what I'm trying to follow even with the culture. Then I also added G1, which was an acronym for the uniform type, so it's like a version 1, which is distinguishable for the color palette used and elements used. I came up with an original idea and design with some traits that I've never taken from the book in my creative process. Moreover, Labware Studios helped me create this uniform by supplying me with these blanks here, which are, by the way, crazy and super high quality. But we will talk more about it in the next part once I show you how I printed this design in my development part of the studio. It will be in the next video, so subscribe and stick around. And this is pretty much it for the creative process. I created an excellent original graphic from a book with similar traits, and I healthily took inspiration from the book in a nice way. Now it's time to open Photoshop and design the actual graphic. Let's go. Here we are in Photoshop. As said in the briefing before, the design will have these elements that I added before off camera. It took a while to design because I was using the mouse. Now it's time to add the other one and see what I can come up with. The first thing I'm doing is to write my artistic signature over the design to follow the path of my inspiration. The signature is a way also of showing who printed this specific design here on this t-shirt. After I added a subtext which states the purpose of this shirt, which is the studio, plus the studio name and the collab name of the person who designed this shirt, which in this case it's me. As you can see, I'm using a random mockup to display the essential skeleton part of this design. After, I will add color, text and shapes to make it more bright, creative and more like my studio. In fact, you know what, let's add straight away the globe icon on the background. Like this is perfect. Now let's change the design into a more familiar look for my studio using a beige background that resembles the colors of the blank from Labware Studios. If you go on their website, you will see the other steps to start your brand from scratch. Now it's time to add the orange parts to this design, which will serve as a way to show the vibrance of my brand. In this curved italics font, I'll add the label version 1 to show that this colorway is only one of the many I will produce. I'm also making the big all caps global sign in orange. Since I'm using a heat press and vinyl to print it, I will divide the orange and black designs into two separate files, as you're seeing here on screen. And like this, we are basically finished with the design brainstorming and the Photoshop process. For now, enjoy this final mockup. The second part, the second video, will drop in a couple of weeks and will show you the other part, which will focus mainly on creating a nice and unique print and how to print it with a vinyl and with a heat press. See you soon. Bye bye.